Hi and welcome. Today I show you how to draw a part of a pumpkin. It's also an insight into one of my drawing lessons. We have drawn a beautiful squirrel there, a pumpkin and autumn leaves. I loved to do that. So maybe you get out also tips for your drawings out of this video. I also invite you to join my upcoming online drawing workshop. It's an amazing community with thousands of people where we draw together a beautiful leopard eye, black and white fur. I teach you that step by step. You can ask questions, you have a Q&A, you get support and feedback. So don't miss that opportunity and take part. You can sign up in the link below. It's September 2nd to 4th. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. And now let's dive into the lesson.
So use again 102 the cream. Add here a lighter line, always below these darker scratches, bringing in some highlights, or here some strokes, there some little scratches and stains and dots again. Also here below in the shadow area. We can also draw some little circles. Circle the yellow pencil a bit over this pumpkin peel. Here we have a light reflection then on the right side. The sun is shining on this hill here. And some more of these strokes and lines here. Just draw them in wild. Don't look too much to the reference photo. Just scratch in the wild little things. And then also go in once more with terracotta 186 and bring in here some terracotta dots. You can also work with so dots and go over the skin. Or again some stains. Okay, here we can go over this indentation here in the middle and bring in a little bit of the orangey color, and then use burnt sienna and go once more over it. Blend it a bit here, it's a little bit deeper. Use the paper stamp here, go over it gently, blend it. Yes, and so this part is also finished. Then let's move on to the right side and work on these. Okay, then let's draw the rest of the pumpkin. So here I have to be careful that I don't lay down the hand on the squirrel. You could place a piece of paper between your squirrel here and your hand to protect your drawing, or just keep in mind that the hand is in the air, that I don't lay down the hand on the squirrel. Or you can also place a glassine paper between your hand and the squirrel. Let's plot in again 102 the cream over the rest here of our pumpkin. Plot that in as a first base layer again here. I do it again here with that yellowish underpainting. It's a little bit darker here. We could do it here with a darker orangey yellow. So perhaps let's do it with 109 with our dark chrome yellow here. It is not necessary here to do it with the cream, because here the next parts of the pumpkin here are more orangey. They are not so yellowish. So let's do it with a darker yellow here, our underpainting. Plot in 109 the dark chrome yellow here as a base layer. And in the back here on top, I would do it again with the cream, with the 102, the cream, the vanilla yellow. Plot it in, and I add here a little bit more pigment so that the paper color is filled with a nice amount of pigment. Okay, and then I push the pigment into the paper. Also the orange yellow ones here on the right side. And then also use the paper stamp here for blending. Going over all the first base layers here. Blend it really well, so that the pigments are pushed into the paper, that it's not gritty anymore, that we have here a smooth first base layer. Go over it with the paper stamp. Okay. And then let's use the terracotta 186. And let's go over the next piece of the pumpkin here in little circles again. So I move here again the terracotta pencil over the creamy base layer into little circles, plotting in a bit of the terracotta pigment. Here on the right side we have a light reflection, and here downwards it's getting darker, it's more in the shadow, it's more orangey. So here we can really go over with the terracotta and plot in here more orangey color. Draw over the first layer here in the little circles, and then also with the sanguine. So starting here below and coloring the lower part here more orangey, and also here upwards I bring in more of the sanguine orange brown. Here at the right side it's really more orangey, this pumpkin. So let's plot in here also in the middle a bit of the sanguine here, and draw sanguine along that middle line here, that indent, and use the paper stamp here a bit for blending, but also blend in little circles. Go over here, blend a little bit but not too much. The yellowish color can shine through a bit. And then use again the brown, the 283, and darken down the lower part. So here this middle line we can draw with brown a bit, and also this lower part here, darken that down. Here at this part too, add a bit more of the brown, the burnt sienna. So also work here in little stains and little dots, and make this part here below darker. Plotting in the burnt sienna, and also go over this line with the orangey brown. Bring in here the so not the orangey brown, the middle brown, the burnt sienna, and blend that a bit. Blend it to the right here and also to the left. So blend this brown here to both sides. It's here going into the pumpkin, but bringing this brown a little bit into both sides so that this indentation is a little bit broader. This one here in the middle, it's the same. Let's go over this one with 186, the terracotta here a bit, and color that a little bit more terracotta. And also go over the stroke here and blend it a little bit into the surroundings. It's not so deep, it's more a flat indentation. So a flat valley. So go over that. And then also plot in the terracotta color over the yellowish, orangey yellowish underpainting here. Let's add here a next layer with our terracotta. Here, color it more orangey and then go over with sanguine. So here this part on the right side really can be dark orange. So I go over here with the sanguine over the first base layer and also along this indents here, bringing in more of the sanguine, and here too color this part of the pumpkin more darker orangey color, going over with the sanguine. And then with our burnt sienna 283 too, again along this lines here, bringing in again more brown pigment here, and also over our pumpkin here, darkening it down, bringing some details again and little circles, and then strokes here too. Here below we can work with the brown. And then go over it with the yellow once more, 102 with our cream. I'm going to sharpen it so that it's sharp, it has a sharp point. And then let's add details and some highlights over the pumpkin peel. So here we have some little highlights that I see here in the reference photos, so small scratches and strokes, and also light reflection here on the right side. Add a stroke downwards and blend it a bit to the left side. And yes, also here above, add some little strokes and scratches. Here below we can also add a fine line as a light reflection, and here on the side too, there light is reflecting. And also on the next here, let's brighten up the right side of the next pumpkin part here a bit, and also on the edge here on the right edge, bring in a bit of the yellowish color here. Blend it here with the paper stamp that the edges are straight, going over. Make this a bit smoother, blend it. And also go in a bit here with the terracotta again, and bring in here some terracotta once more and blend the yellow a bit. We can also use here a little bit of the light flesh color 132 here, such to brighten up the terracotta and the sanguine here. Just bringing in here some circles with the light flesh towards the middle of this part of the pumpkin here. bringing in some dots and strokes over the sanguine here too. Just create a little bit of a structure. And then use a sharp sanguine once more. So let's sharpen the 188, the sanguine. And yes, work a bit with some sanguine strokes or dots here, bring in here some lines, some stains. Also along this valleys, plot in here the sanguine orange once more here. Blend it with the pencil into little circles towards the right side. Also here going over with the sanguine and blend it to the right. Here we also have some little scratches and stains. Draw that in with the sanguine or some darker orange dots here too. And go over that stroke here in the middle once more with the sanguine. I go over this in those circles. Make that indent a little bit broader. Blend it into the surroundings a bit. And also add here some dots and strokes with our burnt sienna with the middle brown here. Let's add here some dots and strokes and stains again, making this part here above a little bit darker. And let's add here a dot. Then this line can be darker. Here we have to use the walnut brown 177 and add here a brown line. This really can be darker. Here it's more contrast in there, and here too I go over this part here with the walnut brown and near the leaves here with black. Here it really can be a little bit darker here below. Increase then the contrast. Okay, then let's blend that a bit with the paper stamp here. Going over and blend the black and the brown into the right here. Then let's go in once more with 102, our yellowish cream, and add again here so little dots and strokes. Here bringing on the pumpkin skin here, some dots and also such little scratches. And here these light reflections on the right side. Also here some brighter details and so little strokes and little higher hills or some little dells. The same here on the right part. Bringing in here these little details. Here too, or this light reflection on the right side. That can we make a little bit broader and bring in some more yellowish color on the left side here. It's the same here on this part. Bringing in some yellowish dots and strokes on the left side here. So blend this light reflection a little bit more to the left. Yes. Okay. Use the ivory then a bit and brighten up this highlight. So here, draw along the right side. They're really brilliant highlights to see here. On our reference photo, they can be brighter, so use here the ivory 103 and brighten them up a bit. The same here at this part. Okay, and go over it with the paper stamp a bit and blend that so that it's not too light. Okay, bring in here with the walnut brown, perhaps a little bit shadow below the paws here. Darken that down a bit. So the paws are going over the pumpkin here. And here we have also to draw here with the brown, these lines between the pumpkin parts here, and add also here above at the part behind 186. Here plot in the terracotta bit. Make them a little bit more orangey here. I'm going to sharpen this or terracotta pencil. Let's add here a little bit more terracotta. Yes, and go over the middle part here. Use again the yellowish cream 102 and going over the left edges here, bringing in the highlights. Okay. Use the sanguine here, going over the brown lines. We make them a little bit more orangey, not so brown. Brighten them up a bit. Okay. Yes, so it looks really nice so far, the pumpkin. Bring in more yellow here. Perhaps here and there some yellowish details once more. But so I think that's enough, perhaps here. Okay, here below perhaps some little strokes and scratches or some dots. Okay, cool. Here in the middle part we could also go over this little indentation here between with the yellow and bringing the yellow here over that part. It's not so deep here. Yeah, so but that's great now. And then let's do the stem. So for the pumpkin stem, let's use the ochre colors. So we will do the base layer also with 102 the cream, and then let's use the bister a bit 179, and also let's use 180 the raw amber and 184 the dark Naples ochre. Okay, so let's do the base layer here with 102 the cream, also with the yellowish color, because there are the highlights and the lighter parts of the stem that are shining through. Just plot in here a bit of the lighter color as a base layer, so then it's Again, a nice underpainting. We have nice color as a base, and all the other colors are then the next layers on top to create that wooden structure of the stem. So here then blend this base layer with our paper stamp, going over here with the paper stamp in so little circles, or here you can also do it upwards and downwards, because we have here to draw then these lines to build up the wooden structure. So here you really can blend in lines upwards and downwards. Okay, so that's the first layer. And then let's go in with the Pista 179 and try to create that wooden structure here. So draw here a darker line, and here below it's darker, draw a line upwards, and then a next darker section here. So draw lines like if you would draw a tree, bringing in here the Pista also at the edges here, and also here above darken this upper part of the stem down here in the middle, and try to draw what you see on your reference photo here. So try to draw here strokes, and then go over with the paper stamp and blend them. They are not so detailed at that stage. We will draw then final lines over them. Okay, then use the raw ember a bit, 180, and also bring in here some raw ember strokes on the right side. Here draw them upwards, and here, and then the yellowish ochre 184, the dark Naples ochre 2 here, bringing in a bit of the yellowish color. I would also use here a bit of the 187, the burnt ochre, and bring in here an orangey touch on the right side, and here below plot in a bit of orangey color too. Also here in that middle part. Yes, and then use again a sharp Pista. So I'm going to sharpen the Pista so that it has really a sharp point. And then let's refine this wooden structure. So with a sharp Pista, go over it again here and bring in fine lines here. I move the pencil upwards and downwards, darken down some lines here. Turn the pencil a little bit so that these lines are showing up more. Bringing in here some fine thin Pista hair lines, not hair. Strokes, lines downwards. Here it's also a little bit a shadow part where the stem here is growing out of the pumpkin. Here it can be darker. Then let's go in with the cream, with the 102, the cream. Again with a sharp point, and yes, let's brighten up here the parts between the Pista and here around this middle part. Brighten that up a bit here, bringing in with green some lighter sections, and here in the middle it's also lighter. We can then go over this part with the ivory too, and bringing in here some fine yellow strokes on the left side here too. Here also some lighter strokes towards the center. And here below the same, bringing in some strokes. And then also so little dots we have here, so little lighter dots on the reference photo. Bring them here in with the light green stains and some dots. Here we can also use the knife and scratch in some lines here, bringing in here some brown or dark ochre lines, scratching upwards some of these fine strokes. Just bringing a little bit of a structure of the wood. Then I use a little bit of black, but just a little bit, and bring in here at the bottom part a bit of shadow. So here where it's really dark on the reference photo, bring in a bit of shadow with black, and also here above inside of that upper part here of the stem, bringing in a bit of black, and then work a little bit with walnut brown too. 177, starting here below at the beginning of the stem, and draw a bit upwards with the walnut brown, bringing a little bit of a darker brown here too, or on the right side darkening the stem down, or here above bringing in some dark brown strokes here, just bringing in some dark lines here, increase again the contrast. And then let's go over it once more with the terracotta 186, and bring in here a little bit of the orangey terracotta color, a thin layer again, layering down here a little bit of the orangey color. Okay, perhaps some highlights with white. So highlights are always good. Then finally, so use a sharp white and add here on the left side a white stroke, and then here a little bit more towards the center white stroke, and here one. Just bringing in here some highlights, brighten up this part, and here on the left, and perhaps here add some white highlights, or here a white stroke, and there push the pigment a bit into the paper, or blend it gently with the paper stamp so that it's not so white. Color it and blend it and color it a little bit yellowish. Okay, yes. And so we have drawn a nice pumpkin and a nice squirrel. I'm going to zoom out a bit. So the pumpkin and with the stem and the squirrel are finished now.
So yes, I hope you get out tips and tricks for drawing pumpkin skin. with layering and adding details. I hope this is helpful for you. It was an insight into the drawing lessons in Animal Art Club, my membership. If you would like to start drawing with pastel pencils and get more help and support, I invite you to join my free upcoming 3 days online drawing workshop. It's an amazing community with many like-minded artists and people, beginners and advanced. You can find the link below in the description. Sign up, get support, get help, and join this amazing community. It is fun. See you there.